All right, welcome back to the UA podcast, talking about some life attacks. First up, we're going to talk about Midoriya's lineup of attacks. Obviously, he has the most attacks out of anyone because he is from the rival deck. Obviously, the big thing to note about Midoriya's attacks is they all have the punch keyword, and so pretty much any character that's going to have one of these symbols, you're going to have an opportunity to just run the punch lineup, which is really strong. He's got a good variety of attacks. They have is a good variety of off-zone attacks. He has some committal. He has some speed pumps. He has some damage pumps. He's got card draw. He's got a throw. His attack lineup is really strong.
Yeah.
Um, and obviously he's got the secret rare, which is kind of a. I mean, it's a secret rare, so it's kind of a bonkers card. The one for all, full counting 5%.
Mhm.
Um, I think it's probably the best Midoriya card. I don't think that's super controversial or hot take or anything like that. It's
I
gonna be super.
Is it the best
Uh,
card? I don't know.
um,
I mean, it's strong, but is it the best card?
The best card, if I'm thinking of a card that I'm definitely gonna play out of these symbols, I guess it's probably Setup Strike. Just
That was the
for
card I was thinking of when I challenged your thought.
the 4 diff for 5 damage is always really good, and then just the giving your next attack +3 speed with the potential of giving this attack +3 speed. I mean, making it a 6 high for 5 is
Yeah.
that's really good for
4 diff.
for 4 diff, and it does
Yeah.
kind of live up to the name of the card in Setup Strike because it sets up your turn.
Mhm.
I mean, if you can go like obviously we're talking about life here, so set up strike into like a Delaware Smash or something like that. So then Delaware Smash comes in as a 7 mid for 6, but it's a flash attack on a 5 diff. That's a really good combo.
That's pretty
That's a nice 1-2 punch.
that's a pretty good setup strike
Hmm.
into a pretty good Delaware smash.
Yeah. I One card I don't know if I've changed my thoughts, but I kind of had to reassess how much I valued it on Midoriya's attacks is
Let
Future
me
Charge.
Oh, I was going to guess future charge. Dang.
Oh, dang. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Future Charge is a card when we first saw it, we were all kind of like, oh my god, this card's gonna be a snap include in every symbol that can play in every deck that can play this card that has one of these symbols on it, right?
Yeah, it's just a 3 speed, right? That's the thing that's kills it dead because it's nice. It cantrips every time you play it and it like doubles up for every other copy. So it's really strong. It gets you a lot of cards back, but man, you're just throwing a bunch of 3 damage attacks or 3 speed attacks and I don't know. It doesn't feel great.
Yeah, because I mean, essentially, it's do you want to check a 4 difficulty to draw one card?
And I mean, that being
It's
said,
not.
it's a really good poke. I mean, it's probably it's not as good as Recipro Extend is as far as being a good poke, but
Hmm.
it's like in the same ballpark because it enables more card draw down the line. But um, as a poke, yeah, it's not quite on the extend level, but it's fine. It's just not ever gonna. It's something no one ever wants to block. They're like, oh, it's 3 speed for 4. Eh, I don't want to block this.
Yeah, and it's got a +2 high block. That's really useful.
Yeah,
Um, it's just it's I'm not saying it's a bad card by any means. It's just I don't think it's necessarily as good as I thought it was going to be. Um, Now maybe in terms of a life deck, it might be better. I've played this card in good and order decks, and it usually didn't make the cut. I put it in a Kaminari deck because it has charge that works off his ability. It just wasn't as good as having another stun attack,
yeah.
or just something like that. One card I definitely want to see played more is Determined Victory Smash. This card it seems like a lot of fun. Um,
It has
because
sweet art.
it has sweet art. It's got a +1 mid block that's always useful. A 5 high for 5. That's good. You can put it back into your hand if you've used Midoriya's ability. So you can go all out on it, and then if you need another attack to finish them off, you got it right back in your hand. Um,
Yeah.
I haven't really seen it played, so that's a card I'd like to see played more. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're playing it, you're kind of just playing it as a blank attack, though. You're playing it for like it being a 5/5 for 5.
yeah, if you're playing it on a non-Midoriya character, or even if you are playing it on Midoriya, I don't know.
Yeah, because how
5 high for
often?
5s. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how often are you dumping your hand on this? because you're gonna theoretically have to play it earlier in the turn. And you're like,
Mhm.
okay, well, I'm gonna dump my hand and this does 15, and then you have to block it, and if you don't, I get it back, right? Or no, it's
Yeah.
after it resolves, so you get it back regardless.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, it doesn't have to. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
it's fine. Um, but yeah, I think overall he's got a really good attack package. Reverse throw, I think is kind of an I don't know if it's underrated, but I don't know that it sees as much play as I thought it maybe would. I mean, a 5 damage throw that can draw you cards.
It was the
Um,
MVP of Kirishima's at Omaha.
because it always deals damage. You grind down your opponent.
Yep, you just coordinated
Um,
effort it and get it back and play it every turn.
mhm. Um, the problem I'm noticing about these taxes, talking about them, is we keep talking about them in terms of not life decks, which I think says something about maybe the viability of these cards in a life deck.
Yeah, I mean, so like with Midoriya stuff in particular, it's the punch kit, but the punch
Hmm.
kit in life is not as good as the punch kit in good.
Hmm.
So why not just play good?
Yeah, because like with like reverse throw, you can kind of cycle it back with celebrity status or something like that, or
Right.
doing something along this. We're gonna take that now that you've opened the marker.
All right. So looking at Momo though, I think we kind of touched on all the
Yeah,
Midoriya stuff.
Midoriya cards. Momo, we've talked about Momo before. Staff Strike is cool, but not really worth the work to put into it. I do like Capturing Net. I think Capturing Net probably her best card, her
Yeah,
best
I like
attack
capturing it.
anyway. For difficulty, 4 damage low attack for stun 2 that you're pretty much always gonna get off. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
I
Um,
think that I think Staff Strike is probably her strongest card, but it's just not good enough right now with what we have to offer or what we have at
yeah,
our disposal. Let's say. So yeah,
yeah,
capture net. I would agree with you.
and I don't think anything off of a life build for Momo really makes Staff Strike that much easier to do, or really facilitates it any better, or anything like that.
Yeah,
So if you're thinking about a life deck, I would definitely play 4 copies of Capturing Net without a second thought.
if you're playing
Uh,
Momo, you mean, or if you're playing anybody?
I think if I'm playing a life deck, honestly, I think I'd play 4 copies of this card.
All right.
It's a 4 difficulty. It's an off zone attack. It's got a high block. Um, it deals decent damage. S- Uh, stun 2, always useful.
Yeah, and I guess it lets
And
you
then
build your foundation down. That yeah.
yeah, that you
So
use
you're
for to trigger the combo.
so you're playing it on a 5, get a stun 2, pull a foundation down. Yeah, it's not bad for sure.
Mhm. I mean, they're I guess I shouldn't say it's a snap include in any life deck, but I would definitely, if I'm building a life deck, this is a card I'm going to set aside. Think this is definitely going in the deck unless I find something right.
Yeah.
Like starting with this on the pile of cards, I'm probably going to put in.
And then
Um,
create bow staff. Yeah, I mean, could be good when there's more assets, like weapon assets and stuff, or just assets. I guess if there's any combo assets that ever get printed, you just want to pull them down in
yeah,
the middle of your turn. Could be good.
yeah. I mean, well, of the 3 assets, 2 of them have life. We've got the Aoyama asset, right? The cape, um, but it's unique. It's not as
Yeah,
good, and I don't know. Like I said, I think this is kind of a check back and look at this card maybe a set or two after we get some more assets, get a bigger, more diverse
yeah.
card pool.
Well, now
Um,
now we can get to the powerhouse of the life symbols attacks.
oh yeah. Um, Also, I want to say I think Uraraka's attacks have my favorite card titles maybe in the set.
Okay.
It's just fun, like Home Run Comet, Meteor Shower. Those are just kind
Yeah.
of like those are some big boy, like those cards are
Oh
doing some
yeah.
damage, right? And also, just the picture for Home Run Comet is amazing. The
She
giant
just
pillar. She's
it's. I wonder, is the art for Pillar Swing just the same art? It's just swinging another pillar.
maybe it's the follow through or something.
But yeah, so I mean, home run
Uh,
comet. I think no one has stopped talking about how good home run comet and meteor shower are since we've
mm-hmm.
seen them. Home run comet gets unruly at the end of turns and gets
Yeah.
really big if you have 2 of these in a turn. You like crank up 2 free momentum, and then at the end of your turn, throw like a powerful 4 or 5 attack.
Mm-hmm.
Seems good. What do you think?
Yeah, it's pretty good for a 4 difficulty attack.
Seems pretty solid.
Yeah, plus one mid block. Obviously the problem with home run combat it's only a 3 speed. Is enough zone, so maybe you can get some half damage through. But for it to be your kill condition, you're gonna want to make sure you've got some kind of either speed boost or you've just grounded down your opponent to the point where they don't have any cards left. Um,
Yeah. And if you're playing Uraraka, obviously you can save your speed boost for this, make this 6 speed,
mhm,
and pull something back from momentum. Or I mean, with plus ultra out now, you could plus ultra the speed up to 6
mhm.
if you're trying to push damage through with this. So if this is your kill
Yeah,
condition, there's ways to make it hit.
yeah, because you could plus ultra it, and pitching one momentum for plus ultra is kind of nothing with like an rocket type deck. They're kind of
Yeah.
two momentum mannequins anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and then you do that, and then if you save for power, you're already up to what 9 speed.
Yep. Yeah, you double it and then you add 3. Yeah.
Hmm. So it's a very solid card. I'd say it's maybe the most
This is
consistent life attack.
I'm gonna have to get
Best
a red button that is like the certified banger. And this is a certified banger attack.
certified banger. Yeah, I like that. In continuing certified bangers, you want to talk about meteor shower?
Yeah. So I don't have a set of meteor shower, so I still haven't played it in my Uraraka deck.
Hmm.
But I mean, this just enables you to just go off on turn 2 or 3 like every game. If you get cards in your discard and you see these,
Hmm.
it gets out here and gets live real quick. It's a 4 half or 5 on a 4 diff. It doesn't have any
Hmm.
kind of block to write home about. It's +3, but you don't have to block if you just kill them by playing this over and over. So I think that's the goal. Just keep meter showering over and over until they're dead.
Yeah, I think also this being a 5 damage attack on a 4 difficulty is kind of bonkers, considering how easy it is to recur and how easy it is to loop over and over again.
Yeah. I wish it was a 5 high for 4 on a 4 difficulty. That would be even better.
Really.
Yeah, I would love speed over damage all day.
Okay.
All day.
That's fair. That's fair. Um, and in continuing of the smacking down certified bangers,
Bang.
I'm gonna actually get the card title right. Let's talk about frog lashing.
Oh, we got to scroll down a bit. Okay. Sprog lashing. Okay.
Frog
So
lashing.
5 diff, breaker 1, +1 mid block for 4 high for 6. Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, you think it only does 6 damage?
How does it get higher than 6, Sean?
Well, you see, Asui has a lot of things, especially around the life build, because you maybe slide in some Aoyama cards about
Mhm.
flipping foundations face down.
Okay.
And this deck it gets progressively more damage the more cards you have face down that are ready. And oh, also, by the way, it readies 2 face down foundations.
Yep, certified banger. Hit
It
the button.
is hit it.
Yeah, this card's really good. Because I mean, so it works off your ready face down foundations, which you can control. Because there are
Hmm.
some things that like look at your opponent's face downs, and you don't always have a lot of control over that. But yeah, this card just is going to do a ton of damage, and you can play it early in your turn. You can play it late in your turn. You can play it with cards like God, what's the card that she has that rescue completed? The one you like blow it up to ready
Yes.
2 foundations as well.
Uh huh.
So you can get that set up to make this do even more damage. And she also gives speed to things, so it's like really a 6 high for 6 out the box.
Hmm.
And it's going to do all the damage in the world.
Yes.
The marker.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Miles keeps
so
taking the marker.
and this is also another decent target for plus ultra speed pumps as well if you needed to push this through.
Speed pump or a damage pump. I mean, if you've got your opponent in a situation where you know they can't block or something like that, or you've got
Yeah,
other speed pumps, because like you said, Asui herself also does speed pumps. I mean, making it a 12 damage out the box, that's not something to laugh at, right? Like that's a big boy attack coming through.
that is a big boy attack.
What other attack, are there any more certified bangers for Asui, as you would say?
Nah, I mean, like I think her whole attack lineup's decent. Even frog
Hmm.
kick, which you're probably not going to play in her until there's more kicks in the symbol somewhere down the line. If you get down to the plus ultra packs and DLC cards, though, I mean, tongue whip is really good,
Hmm.
as is amphibious ambush. I
Hmm.
like Tongue Whip a lot. Just for like the evil kit for a Moneta deck, maybe. Being able to add the top card to your rival's deck to their card pool, and then giving itself plus damage for each card in your rival's card pool, and it's also a low attack. I think there's a pretty decent low attack lineup that's just like filling your opponent's card pool up with stuff once all these cards are out. So I'm kind of looking
Yeah.
forward to that. I think it'll be kind of fun.
Hmm. And obviously, there's also Crow and Frog Takedown. I it does have the Asui only enhance. I don't know that it really makes the. I don't know if it makes the cut right now. Just I think that so many of the other cards are just better.
Yeah,
Um, I
yeah.
mean, I don't know. I have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
so the thing you can get into this attack with little to no commitment. Like you play it on 5 diff, and you have to commit one or two. You can ready one
mhm,
back, and it's a 4 half for 5 that doesn't count towards progressive.
yeah,
So for things like this is actually really good with like home run comment. It doesn't count towards progressive. You don't have to
and
like
it is a
commit
high attack.
anything. Yeah. Um, and it's I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that is like supremely good with, but the fact that it doesn't count towards progressive is pretty solid.
Yeah. Um, Now we got our boy Aoyama that we've talked about some. Um, I will be honest, I have never actually played any of his attacks. I there's something to be said for Naval Laser Beam and being a Breaker 2 card. That's always something that I'm going to gravitate towards, making
Hmm.
it, especially now with the changes to Breaker,
Hmm.
where it just gives your opponent's next check straight up -2. Um, there's a pretty good life Breaker lineup if you're playing Naval Laser Beam and Frog Lashing. I almost call it Tongue Lashing.
I know. I saw it in your
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah, I had to do the scroll. I wasn't sneaky enough. Um, But, it's his attacks are good, but I think we've kinda talked about it with Eraser Head looming out there. Are they good enough on their own without him, without getting the bonuses to just play on their own?
Right.
I don't know. Especially not in maybe like a life lineup. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I
uh
think there's enough foundations that flip themselves that you can get value out of his first enhance on the naval laser beam.
Mhm,
Um, and even if the value is just making this attack a 5 mid for 8, using both of its enhances and then unflipping two things, I think
mhm,
that's fine. But as far as everything else goes, like he's got the one that discards momentum, the instant shining flash, I think.
yeah,
Yeah, so after you play the card, you discard one of their momentum. That card is actually extremely strong. Especially, it's only going to get stronger as things like Plus Ultra get more prevalent in the format.
yes,
And it even helps against decks like Uraraka, where they're trying to keep momentum to do things. And
mhm,
it lets them choose which momentum to discard, so you have to get them down and like to discard specific things. But even just keeping them off any momentum helps.
mhm. Um, any other overarching thoughts on the life attack?
No, I mean I think there's some really strong attacks, particularly in um, Asui and Uraraka.
Mhm,
But not to say that Bakugo's attacks are bad or anything. I think they're just better in his other symbols, but could be strong for life going forward.
mhm. Midoriya, that is.
So what did I say?
Bakugo.
Yep, Bakadoria. That's my man.
Bakudoria. Yeah. Coming up next, we're going to talk about some Bakudoria attacks.
When they do their fusion dance in season 7.
Oh, man. Oh, God. I can't wait.
Yes. All right, so I
Um,
think we hit everything there.
yep. All right. Well, next up, we're going to talk about some life foundations.